I tell my daughter that yes, finding love is the best feeling on earth, in my opinion. But the worst feeling is like losing that love. When you can't eat and you just want to sleep and forget your pain or drink, like that is no way to live. But that's how people live when they have to suffer through breakups and loss and heartache. So I definitely get why people would stay away from and avoid relationships. I get that. I don't know. We're all just gonna get old and wrinkly and then what? Like, you're just not you anymore. You're like an old person. That's weird. And who's gonna love you when you're old? I get that, like, some people do find that. Congratulations to you guys. Then I have to ask myself, okay, so what else is there to do in my life? I've already had a child. I don't really want to go through that again, personally. It was fine one time. Like, yeah, I mean, I would rather have had a child than not. Like, I would not be an older woman saying, oh, I regret having a child. No, it was definitely the best thing. But they get to be like 10 years old, 20 years old. And then, like, what are you supposed to do with yourself and your life? Like, I plan to just sort of hopefully stay near my daughter and help her through life. And if she gets married and has kids, like, be there for her. But I still, like, have 10, 15 years to go till that time, maybe. So I'm like, what do I do in the meantime? If I don't really want to find love because it's just too painful, and I've already gone to college, I don't want to do any more college. I'm good. College makes me cry and I hate it. I don't want to do any more college. I've working is fine. I probably just do that and get different jobs, but like, and I've done YouTube. I don't really like this so much. It's like, it's fine. It's not like my passion. I don't know. This planet is just kind of boring and weird and scary. Only like going through this sad transition with my daughter, and she's now a tween. She's 11. It's only been a few months, but I've seen the changes, and it's just crazy. Like, I'll just share how it's gone for me, so that hopefully it could be like not even a warning to other parents, but just kind of like, this is what you could expect one day. So from babyhood to 10, my daughter really was very like cute, lovable, fun. She just had like a sunny little disposition and could always see sort of like the brighter side of things. And she loved dinosaurs and dragons. She did not really like Barbies or baby dolls or anything like that. And so the older she got, the more into like Jurassic World movies, How to Train Your Dragon. She's just been a very like happy little kid. And I was telling my friend the other day, because her daughter is 1 year old, and she's like, oh, I just don't know how I can keep going on like this. She's like, she works, her husband works, and they just feel like they never have time for each other because they always have their daughter. And I don't know, we were talking, she was like stating the things that are difficult for her, and I was of course trying to tell her, no, it's going to go so quickly, just enjoy it. But I know she always hears that, so I was trying to like think of how to say it that she would really maybe grasp it more than just enjoy it. So I told her, for me personally, it felt like 10 years of my daughter's life. It felt like a few years. You know, it felt like 2 or 3 years when I really sit back and think about like, how long did that feel like? If you're a parent out there, you have a little one or a youngin', truly enjoy it. Remember my words that it feels like a few years after 10 years have gone by. And then 10 to 11 is like, in my opinion, when they just sort of, really have their own opinion. If not sooner, of course. Like, I know kids develop differently and everything, but by 11, even as a substitute, I can tell the age ranges, the classrooms that I don't want to sub for because the kids are too old. They don't care. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade onward. They just stop caring. They get better at lying, and it's fine. Like, of course they have to grow up, and you can't keep them little forever. When it's your own child, you just feel like so sad. And then my daughter, like, she started putting her little kid toys outside her door. She just started cleaning out her room and putting these toys. So in my eyes, it felt like she's cleaning out 10 years of her life in a month. It's so sad, but just know that this is what you're in for about from 10 to 11. Then they just start changing. I guess that's all I'll just say. Like, man, just don't waste your time neglecting or beating your kids. Bro, it goes by so fast. Just make their lives happy, especially 0 to 10. 0 to 15 would be better, and 0 to 20 would be best, but geez, 0 to 10. Like, we have to put these guidelines and convictions into the public eye, because otherwise people will keep raising their kids with abuse, neglect, beatings. How can we convey to people that, like, you have to be really sound in your life, finances, emotional stability, mental clarity, to be able to properly care for a child or children? That's like my public service announcement. Like, be ready for kids. I can say these things because personally, I feel I can say these things because I wanted to have a kid since I was like 16, 17 years old. And then once I did, I was like, just not even disappointed, but certainly unaware that having this child wouldn't exactly bring happiness to me. I still had to go find my own happiness or get it from a higher power, from God. Like, I still had to find myself, my own happiness, before I could look to another person to give me any sort of happiness. Obviously, it should come from within, and then maybe people enhance our happiness, or they can deter our happiness, but they can't make us have it or make us happy, because they could just take it away so easily, and that's not like a safe place to be. So yeah, I can say from like personal experience, I just think that like people start to have, well, even from my sisters and friends that I've asked, like, hey guys, have you guys ever been through a midlife crisis? Have you ever felt like you're going through one? People have told me that they've had a midlife crisis from like age 30 to 50. So yeah, I think that anywhere between 30 and 50 people are susceptible to having what is commonly known as a midlife crisis. But I like to think of it as more of a midlife evaluation, right? So instead of freaking out altogether, like, just kind of evaluating life and what makes somebody feel like they are going through a crisis. So yeah, I think people eventually, honestly, it just feels like either have I done enough, or on the other hand, you have people who maybe regret their lives. Like, if you've spent a good portion of your life partying, doing drugs, neglecting your family or your kids, I mean, I'm talking like, a good decade, like let's say all of your 20s or late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, I'm sure that someone is going to start having a freak out session eventually. I'm sorry to say, evaluation of their life, because that's what you do when you get older. You sort of replay things from your whole life, like almost every day. It's really strange, but like, yeah, as you get older, you just have all these memories, right? And they kind of spring up unannounced or unwanted, and you can't really help it almost. I suppose that's why people do hardcore drugs or drink away their sorrows, because they're trying to like block out your reliving of your life every day, which is just honestly like kind of what people do when they get older. You can't really help it almost.